Well, hey, welcome back to the channel. You've probably seen this thing in the background of some of my other videos. I don't know why I held my hand up that long, but I figured today I'd give you a little tour of it. It's a neat old truck that I'd like to say me and my dad built, but mainly my dad. It's kind of got a neat story behind it. Like everything else I say I own's got a neat story. But yeah, let's get into it. What we have here is a 1947 Federal truck, cab and nose, and it is on a 89 Dodge chassis. You know that Johnny Cash song? I think it's One Piece at a Time. That's pretty much what this truck is. It's a, like I said, 47 cab and nose Federal truck, model 18Q, I think. When I pop the hood up, I'll look at the information plaque. But it's on a 89 3/4 ton Dodge first generation chassis, and it's got the diesel in it, Cummins 12 valve rotary pump. This truck originally was a first gen Dodge that I had built when I was in college. It was my first diesel truck. Long story short, I built it, I made it make some power, blow smoke, you know, all the cool things you do when you're 19, and ended up tearing the transmission out of it. And being a poor 19-year-old, I couldn't afford to put a transmission in it, so I stuck it in a storage building, and there it sat. And I ended up selling the body off of it, and I eventually sold the frame to a friend of mine, running gear I should say. He had it, put a cab on it, drove it around for a little bit, and then he parked it. So we ended up buying it back and ended up creating this thing out of it. But when it was the first gen, it was originally a regular cab long bed that was only 2-wheel drive. I turned it into a 4-wheel drive by getting a donor truck and swapping axles, and then put a 93 intercooled motor in it because it was originally a non-intercooled motor. So that was the first variation of this thing. Here's the nice old interior. So like I said, we bought it back after my buddy had it, and it got tore apart. The front axle, which is a Dana 60, was moved ahead 11 inches to get it centered up in the wheel wells. That was just accomplished by getting a little bit shorter springs and moving the mounts up forward more. The frame was stretched 3 foot, so he was able to get a 11-foot flatbed on it. And it does have a Dana 80, I think out of like a 99 Dodge 2500 or a 1-ton truck. As I was saying, it's really just a pickup, which is kind of nice because it rides a heck of a lot better than the original truck. The truck that we did have came from Kansas City, Missouri, and it was a complete truck. We just wanted the cab and the nose because it had that sweet, awesome looking patina on it. And it's kind of nice now that this thing's done, you can get on the highway and just crack her open, and it'll do 80 all day down the highway if you really wanted it to, and you can pass about anything in sight. Even with the rotary pump motor, I've got some big old Poland truck injectors in there, and I did some pump work to it. Other than that, it's just a stock motor with I think it's got head studs, rotary pump, and just a HX35 turbo on it. So nothing fancy there, but it does blow some smoke, and it sounds like a semi going down the road, especially out of these stacks that Dad had made, octagon stacks, kind of reminiscence of that welder up guy. Looks similar to his stuff. It is 4-wheel drive, but it does have the good old Bluetooth front drive shaft. Yep, Bluetooth. It's the most modern technology here. Get a little look on the inside here. Just your basic amenities. Seat, not much room. Seat's been reupholstered. Had some Amish do that. The knob for the shifter is actually a doorknob from a house that I used to own, and it just happens to fit down inside of there and actually makes it kind of nice to shift. Something to rest your hand on. So yeah, but just got some regular auto gauges there because the regular ones don't work, and then it's got a an odometer speedometer that is in the regular speedometer spot. But yeah, pretty basic on the inside. You got vents on there and one there, and then you got a vent outside that you can operate from inside with this lever here. And the windows crack open too forward, so you got all kinds of ventilation in this thing. And the cool thing about that top, it already looks like it's chopped, you know, that real short window. Just a sweet looking truck. The bumper, a friend of Dad's made that out of plate steel. That's all bent and welded to match the curve of the front of the truck, and boy, it turned out nice. But I'm going to get these engines unloaded, and we'll take this thing for a drive, because really the best thing about this truck is driving it and hearing this thing go down the road. So yeah, we'll talk a little bit more once I get that stuff all done. So if this is your first time here because you clicked on it to look at this truck, my real reason for having this channel is these old hit and miss engines. And these two engines here, I actually happened to restore or unrestore, whatever you want to say, get them running in some other videos. So if you kind of like that stuff, go check them out. I'll link them down in the description or maybe up in the corner or something, I don't know. But yeah, that one there was completely stuck and came off of a local farm, and I got it going. And then this going, and then this one here had a bunch of paint on it, and I stripped all it off, got it back down to the original paint, and they both run pretty good. So anyway, if you like that kind of stuff, go check out some other videos. I'd appreciate it. Well, I about forgot to show you the most important part of this thing, the motor. I'll pop the hood open here and we'll dive into the bone stock Cummins. There she is, 5.9 liters of roll coal. Got some vintage style wiring here. A little bit of corrosion on there, it might need to be cleaned up, but she fits in there. It's tight though. I only had to notch the firewall about an inch, about 6 inches, 7 inches long. I get my hand out of there. But yeah, right there, that's the only place I had to notch the firewall. It's got actually the original radiator that was to the truck, which was an open system, and took it down to the radiator shop, put a different core in it, made it a closed system, and it heats. It cools the truck pretty good. Some homemade steering bushing there, but like I said, it's just a 5.9 out of a 93 truck, intercooled. Nothing too fancy under the hood, but like I said, she sounds good. It is adapted to a NV40. Pedals actually still work the way they should, coming out through the floor. That there and that there is where the pedals go. It does have an electric over hydraulic assist on this that is out of a school bus for brakes, along with the hydraulic Hydro Boost brakes on it. So it was the only way that the brakes seemed to work on the truck effectively. It's got discs up front and discs rear, maybe drums rear. I forget what the rear is. I think it's drums rear. Yeah, drums rear, discs front, and it'll stop you. It'll about throw you through the windshield. Just the factory Dodge brakes. That's a ring balancer. It's got BBs in it to help balancing them front tires. But yeah, here she is. It took a little over a year for Dad, buddy that did the welding, and myself to my little contributions to this to get this thing done. So enough the yapping again. We'll go for a cruise. Well, hopefully the video turned out good because I haven't edited it yet. But if you like old stuff, I would appreciate it if you go check out some other videos. This is the type of stuff I normally work on, these old hit and miss engines. And I got quite a few of them here sitting outside, so I'm getting ready to start rearranging things and get this stuff into the garage and things put away. And yeah, this garage is usually somewhat clean, but it's a disaster right now. So that's what I'm getting ready to do. But if you would, go check out some other videos. Go back in some of my playlists. Check those out. And if this is something you like, consider subscribing. Give it a like, share it with your friends, all that fun stuff. So I always like to say, until next time, go out and get your hands dirty. Thanks for watching.